Yeah.
That's why it's recording from there.
If you need anything, I'll just be out there. Just give me a shout.
So it is warm, isn't it?
Mate, it's going to get a hell of a lot warmer once that door's closed.
It's like an oven in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where's the tomatoes?
Oh.
Be a weed farm before you know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah, just give me a shout if you need me.
Sound, bro. I'll turn my phone on airplane mode.
Oh yeah, should have found us all. That's cool, this, isn't it? I like
Good
it.
little setup. There's another building just there. They've just put a bid in for, so hopefully they'll get it. You know, when we walked in,
Yeah.
there's something there. It's just a bit bigger.
And how did you know about it?
I knew the washer because he's got a really good podcast. He interviews some amazing people like Sean Paul, freaking, but all kinds of stuff like that.
You know,
So that's quite good. So we'll start the podcast. So I've got to look into that.
you know what you're asking me?
No, not yet, mate.
Okay.
These are questions at the end.
Okay.
These are questions that I've written down, but we'll go. So hello everyone, and welcome to the Mindset Podcast again. No, it's wrong again. I got to get it wrong, bro.
You said you couldn't cut things out.
I'll start again. Ready? Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mindset Podcast. Is it my name's Mindset Soldier?
Mindset Soldier podcast.
Oh, mate, I'm drained today, mate. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mindset Soldier Podcast. Today we've got an amazing guest who I've known for 2-3 years now. His name is Andrew Hart. We met through the property world, and so Andrew, can you just introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, well, you know, my name's Andy Hart. Been in property just over 20 years, 21, 22 years.
Yeah.
I've been full-time in 4 years.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I retired I was 49. I had a goal to retire at 50, so I retired at 49.
So was it just pre-COVID?
Yeah, pre-COVID, yeah. So I had a carpet and flooring business for many years.
Yeah.
But during that time, I've just been dabbling in property.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then 2019, I just looked at it, thought, you know, I've had enough of retail now.
Yeah.
Sold the business, sold it for a decent profit. As you know, I lived on a boat then as well, so my overheads were very low. And that was it. And I just went full time into property after that. So I didn't have to, but it was just that's my hobby.
Yeah.
So retired at 49, just went full time in property investing. That's where I am now.
Awesome. So just before we start, I probably wouldn't be the Mindset Soldier if it wasn't for this guy. The course I did a couple of years ago to do with public speaking and how to tell my story, this guy paid for without even me fucking knowing. So I probably wouldn't be here without him. So he's a very, very dear friend of mine. So I just want to say thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So firstly, I want to start from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of your childhood. Where did you come from? Where was it? Ireland, Scotland, England? Your kind of background as a child, like how many siblings you had? How was your relationship with your mum and father?
Yeah. Well, I was born in 1968. Third child, so I got two sisters older than me. I think my eldest was born in 65.
Yeah.
Other one was 66, something like that, 64, 65, 66.
How's your relationship with them? Good.
Very good. Yeah. Been well brought up with mum and dad. In a council house.
Yeah. Typical older brother, always trying to protect him.
I was the younger brother, mate.
Oh,
the older
younger.
brother. Yeah. My two sisters are older. So I think my eldest sister is actually 60 next month.
Yeah.
So what would that make her? 1963? Would it be 1963? Yeah, no, 63 and 60. Yeah. So Tina was born in 63. I think Paul was born in 65, and then Mum and Dad said, like one more try. Let's try for a boy, and then shit, they've had another girl. No, it wasn't. But I did look like a girl because obviously in the 70s we had this like
a little bowl cut.
I had a bob. They'd give me a bob.
Yeah.
So I had long hair, long blonde hair, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And so I was the youngest child. I was born in. You've had to come to the house, haven't you?
Yeah.
I was born in my mum and dad's bedroom.
Yeah.
Because them days you could have home births.
I was actually home birth, actually.
Yeah.
That's probably why we're fucked up, mate.
Yeah. So it was great. So we had a good upbringing. Had everything we wanted.
Yeah.
Although, my mum was a very, very hard worker. She worked at Celio Hospital for many years. My dad
so always like food on the table.
Always food on the table. And my mum and dad weren't rich by any means. They just both really went out to work from day dot. And because mum wanted to work, and so did dad, my grandmother sort of took control and looked after the three of us, because she was then, I think she retired when she was 60 from St Eric Hospital.
Yeah.
And Nan said, well, I'll look after the kids. So I was spending a lot of time with my grandmother.
Which was quite common back in them days, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, and
Like a working class background, your mum and dad working out, obviously working to put food on the table, and obviously the grandparents kind of took on the father and mother role.
It was just back how it was them days, to be fair. So my nan brought me up quite a lot, took me to school, and we just had a great upbringing, the three of us. We really did.
How was your gran like?
Sorry?
How was your gran like?
My gran?
Yeah.
Loved us a bit. Really close to me. You probably see because a lot of Instagram posts I put that. I'm going to see my my nan died in '99, which knocked me sideways a bit because obviously I was very close to her. And I made her proud. Up to the point when she died in '99. I was then obviously full time in carpet fitting and earning city money as a tradesman back in the day, and I had everything really. But we had a real good relationship with my grandmother. She used to say to me, "You're my best grandson ever."
Definitely lying. Definitely lying.
I was the only one.
I know exactly.
So yeah.
So how did you deal with that at the time? Because grief can be quite powerful, but it can make you a massive backstepping knife, or it can push you forward to do better.
I think he's always pushing me to do better. I mean, to be fair, before my nan died, my granddad died first in 1986.
Yeah.
Jack, he died in 1986. 6 years, my grandmother died, which is from my dad's side.
Yeah.
She died in 1992. My relationship with them wasn't as close as my nan Ellis, my mum's mother, because obviously she seen me a lot more, so the relationship was a lot more stronger. So all of my other grandparents, of course, but
you get a special bond. Don't
first time I'd actually seen a dead body when I went to see my granddad, and in 1986 in the chapel arrest and that, and it did take me sideways. But the way I've always looked at life is that the day's going to come. So it didn't really frighten me at all. And then when Nan died in '99. I was obviously fitting then, and broke my heart daily, but I never took any backward steps. I just carried on moving forward because I know that's what she would have wanted, and that's how I dealt with it, and that's how I've dealt with deaths. What have happened since then, like so.
So obviously, you went through school. Obviously, you came out of school, didn't you? Was you quite young?
No. I left in May 1984, and that I left at the right time.
You're good with numbers, bro. I can never remember. Mate,
I can remember 20, 30, 40 years ago, but I can't remember what I did yesterday. No idea.
Senile, that's what
but I left in '84, May '84, and I'll be honest, I struggled at school. I was a good child. I didn't cause grief to any of my parents. I honestly
struggled academically in a way.
Yeah, I think I had. Would it be ADHD? I don't know.
Yeah.
Couldn't concentrate because when I was at school, I'd be sitting there and they'd be talking to me, and then they say, "What have I just said?" I said, "No fucking idea, mate.
Yeah.
No idea. What's the matter with you?" And I just look out the window. My mind goes on to another subject. Yeah. So unlike now we're talking, my mind is thinking about other things as well. What we're doing tomorrow. That's just the way it is.
Are you trying to say I'm not interested?
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. But that's how it was, and I left with no education.
It's one of the common things though with ADHD. So I've also is if you don't have the love for it, if it doesn't actually you don't connect with it, you can't learn from it. So you end up switching your attention to something else constantly until you can find something that gives you that dopamine hit. So obviously that must be something that you've felt like, especially going into the floor business.
Yeah,
you had a bit of a passion for it, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, when I was at school, the teachers one teacher approached me especially and he said, "What are you going to do when you leave school? You leave school next month." I said, "I've no idea, but I'll be successful."
Yeah.
And how'd you work that out? I said, "I just know I will be."
Yeah.
I hadn't got a clue what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But the moment I left school, you know, my mum will reiterate this. You've met my mum. I just got, believe it or not, I think I was into the John Travolta days, and with the old white suit.
I don't think you've changed.
I haven't. Apart from my suits are white anymore, the black or darker. My hair's gone dark now. It used to be blonde, but I got a suit on.
Yeah.
I left school on the Friday, and on the Monday I got a suit on.
Let me vision this. Go on, keep talking.
I've got a briefcase, and I just walked straight to town.
I can imagine the walk as well.
I did the walk, and them days we had what we called a YTS scheme.
Yeah.
Which is the Youth Opportunity Training Scheme.
Okay.
Them days, I called them Young, Thick and Stupid.
What's that equivalent to? Is that like
maybe apprentice? I don't know.
Okay,
but it was called in the 80s. It was called a YTS scheme.
Yeah. Youth
Opportunity Training Scheme. It was £25 a week. You could only go on one, and that's it. You could only go on one. So basically, I never climbed on the dole once. I just went into town, walking into shops in Birmingham City Centre. Have you got any jobs going? And I always believe that if you're there, showing your face, you've got more of a chance than just writing to people.
Where do you think that stemmed from?
No idea. I just had
Think
that.
about it.
I think if I go back
Slow
now,
your mind down.
I think if I
Slow
go
your
back,
mind down.
I think if I go back now,
Yeah.
thinking why I was like that.
Everything stems from something. Saying you
It's
don't
really
know why.
bizarre because when mum and dad have always said to me, I do not know where Andrew gets it from. Because obviously both my sisters, and no disrespect, and I love them to bits. They've done what mum and dad did. they've just got your normal 9 to 5 job that they're very happy with.
So what about your mum and dad? So let me just say this. So obviously, when you're younger,
Yeah.
you can never be taught through like physical stuff. Sometimes it's normally to do with emotions and what you pick up and what you see.
Mm.
So you picking that up from your mum and dad, possibly. This is just my perspective, how I see it. Is obviously if you're seeing them going out grinding, always working, you've got your obviously your nan there, giving that emotional support from that side of her. Subconsciously, I think you would have picked that up from a very young age that your mum and dad are a very hard worker,
Maybe.
and you don't take no for an answer. You get what you want, and you make sure you put food on the table, no matter fucking what. Coming from that perspective, and I know that from you, just from like we speak every now and again. But I put if you rang me, mate, I'd be there for you 100%, and vice versa. We just randomly, I wanted to get you on my podcast anyway, and you rang me Monday when I was free, when I wanted to get someone on a Monday. You rang me at the blue. I don't think we spoke like what, about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Stuff that happens for a reason. So I think subconsciously, you having that drive it's got to come from somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. But I don't know where, and I look back now, and I don't know. Dad was in and out of jobs, to be fair, because he wouldn't be told what to do, and that's exactly why I become self-employed, because there is no way.
Because you've seen it from his side, yeah.
No, I just don't like being told what to do, and I think when you get to the age of 16, that I listened to what my mum and dad told me all the way up to the age of 16. I still would now, but I won't have anybody tell me what to do. I can't do it, So I was glad to leave school. So I thought the only way of doing that is working for yourself, really.
Unless it betters you as a person, then
yeah,
But when people
but
try and speak down to you in a way or try and
I can't have
make
anybody
you
tell
change,
me tell Andrew, this is what you're going to do, and do it. I'll tell you what, really, to go over that, the only people I do listen to are people who are in my subject and better than me, and I respect them.
Yeah.
But if you're not that person, then I won't. So if, let's say, I taught yesterday, believe it or not, I went down to the football, and ironically, I bumped into Terry, who took me on to run his carpet shop at the age of 17. I bumped into him yesterday, and we're on Facebook now. First time I've seen him for 30 years.
How much that?
He was shocked. He went, "Hello." I said, "Right, just if it wasn't, I'd had a few beers. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I am now." He went, "That means a lot." I said, "No, seriously."
Yeah.
What I've stemmed in my family with all the carpet fitters, and all my nephews now carpet fitters, all in the carpet industry, and cousins.
Yeah.
It all stemmed from me. It stemmed from you.
Of course, yeah. He gave you the
You
foundations.
gave me that chance. You gave a 17-year-old a chance to run a business for you. I've never run a business before, and I made it a success. And yeah, great. And I just believe that your life is a book, mate.
You've got a big heart as well.
Yeah, I have, and that's just why I am. I've been brought up well.
Exactly, because you've been brought up well, and people have gave you a helping hand, and you give a lot. You did that for me. Do you know what I mean? Which you didn't fucking need to. It was anonymous as well. Like I wouldn't leave there until someone told me, because I'm that kind of person. You didn't want to say. Do you know what I mean? But
I think I get that from my idol George Michael. I think he was. No, that's just the way I am. I mean, when I gave the money for you to do what you did, I was asked, because obviously you went on stage, didn't you?
Yeah.
And this is the guy who's obviously done it. He wants to be left anonymous. So I'm not that sort of person who would just want to be in the limelight. I don't do it for that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And of course, my one of my greatest idols is George Michael. And obviously when he passed away, and that's a lot of people found out how generous he was.
Yeah.
He was massively generous
Mm.
with his money. Silent giver. That's what I like to do.
So moving on, obviously going through school, leaving school, then getting into flooring and stuff like that. How was that? How did you go from being in that business to literally making it a very successful business and doing what you do? And you're very renowned, I think, in that area and the outside areas of the great work you do. The finishes that you do with flooring and stuff like that are renowned upon.
Yeah, I mean, I've had I'll be honest with you. I think it's sometimes. Well, I always say it's a gift that I've had. When I was younger, I knew I'd be successful. I had a goal. I had that right mindset. There was no questions asked.
Didn't know what.
There
but you
was
were
no
gonna be
question. I
successful.
was going to have
Yeah.
that Porsche, whatever I wanted at the time, which I wrote down when I was 16. In fact, I think about 1984, I wrote a little book in front of my nan. This Porsche is going to cost me £99,000, and every time I got £2, it went 98,900.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got down to about something like 98,000. Got fed up with that, threw the book away. but I knew I'd have it.
Yeah,
It wasn't. There's never a question in my mind that I won't get what I want.
Yeah.
And that is, I just think that's a gift. And I'm a risk averse, so I'll do anything for risk. So basically, with that, when I left school, I got a few jobs licking stamps in a solicitor's office. I was sort of going with a legal executive into Birmingham law courts with me little £25 a week. But £25 a week was a massive money to me because I was only on £5 a week pocket money
before. Yeah.
So what the hell? When I got my first
£25,
I went, shit. How am I going to spend that?
Yeah.
So I bought another suit and another briefcase and
another white suit.
This one was cream.
So every week you just bought another white suit.
I had to tone it down a bit, but so that didn't last long. And then I loved photography. So I used to go to Elmdham Airport at the time. It's Birmingham Airport now, but it used to be Elmdham Airport many years ago. And I used to take my camera down on a Sunday and start taking. And I like photography, taking pictures of aircraft. And then I think when I was about 18, I went down. It was a rainy day, and I got my camera out, and all of a sudden I seen this young female in my lens, and I went, you know what? I don't think I like planes anymore. So the photography sort of went a bit flat. But I kept lying. I lied about my exam results.
Yeah.
I had to because when you go through them days of YTS, they'd say, well, what exam results you got? So I've got O-level maths, O-level English, O-level physics.
Yeah.
But not once did they say, I've got proof.
Yeah,
they just said to me, no problem. You start Monday.
Word of mouth.
So I had the licking the stamps and going into the course, taking notes down for the legal executive I worked with, which I quite enjoyed.
Your nickname from now on is it?
Dalboy, I think. Dalboy, because it goes on from there. Anything to make money. So from there, I then done a photography course with somebody, and Birmingham City Council, County Council, in Birmingham by the fire station. They went bump.
Yeah.
So. And I was still 17 then. So I'd had quite a few little jobs, but I was earning money.
Yeah.
And then my friends called me and they said, listen, there's a job, there's a B&Q opening in Selly Oak.
Yeah.
And I went, I am not working for B&Q.
Right. So what year was this?
85.
85. I didn't know B&Q was that old.
Way before that. So it was red now, but it was orange then, orange and black. And B&Q were opening a superstore in Selly Oak, which was literally around the corner from Mum's house where you'd been. Yeah. And my mate said, listen, it's better than nothing. I went, true. I'm not going to be out of work. So they took me on again on a YTS scheme, £25 a week. And I was there for just over 12 months. But the problem I had there, I was being bullied by the manager.
Okay.
He didn't like me. He was a bit like myself, for a bit older, bit of a Jack the Lad, come in.
He didn't like someone younger.
I just think there was something about me he didn't like. Maybe because,
I'm not having that.
When I wore the suit, I mean, this is the Duran Duran days and all the 80s. I'm not wearing a red suit. I'm not wearing a red trouser and red shirt. You've got it. That's your uniform. So I drain piped the red trouser down to really. So it was more modern.
You like having your own identity.
Yeah. So he used to he put me on the carpet department, which I hated.
Yeah.
And that's where it stemmed from. That's where it started. He put me on the carpet department, and he would, when I say bully, he'd come round to the onto the stand where I was, and he'd just say, "You're doing this in 10 minutes, but you're not having it."
Makes
said, why not? Why not? He said, because you've had 4 or 5 rolls to live from Northern Ireland. I want them all on them racks before you go anywhere. Yeah, all my other pals on decorating, nail screws, that was easy paint. He put me on there for the reason. And it's quite ironic, really, because he says, right, now you're going to do a DIY exam, DIY master exam. So what's that? He says, just so that you learn everything about the DIY products, from nails to screws to carpentry to everything. And you're going to do an exam. I can't remember where it was in Birmingham somewhere with another 4 people. And the other 4 were like his teacher pets, if you like.
Yeah, okay.
And I think he put me on it because he knew I'd failed because I was at school. He says, but you've got to do it. Yeah. Mate, I was the only one what passed.
Really, yeah.
And the others failed. I had a bit of a ding-dong when I was having the exam because, again, I've just left school now and been told what to do by a teacher.
Did he say anything about passing it?
He was absolutely gutted because we went into his office, he called me up into the office and he said, can I have Andrew Hart? Can I have blah, 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 the rest up? We went up. And to be honest, the others really didn't do enough research on it because they weren't bullied into it like me. Because he'd say to me, get in my office and read that book through, and that's what you're doing all day. So really, he bit his nose off to spite his face because I educated himself on all the DIY products. I went on this exam and he got all we all had our envelopes, and I opened mine, and I went, oh, I've passed. His fucking face dropped, mate. Everyone else had failed. And he just didn't know where to put himself.
I bet that was a big F you to him, though, from your side.
Yeah, I just basically went, my God, mate. So that was that. And lo and behold, I had to get out. There was a big robbery there as well. The same year, and I was on the top of the CID list. You wouldn't believe it, would you, mate? I was on the top of the CID list purely because the one guy who got arrested was on the kitchen department, which was my friend.
I was going to say, he weren't wearing a white suit, was he?
No, that was the decorator. That was the decorating. But no, he got done. He was one of them. They said, we know there's another one taking thousands from the shop. No, it's not me, mate. I've been brought up. Of
course, yeah.
You know, and the manager had me in the office. Listen, I know you probably take batteries or the occasional pack of screws. We all do that. Also, I don't even do that.
Yeah.
And he
Assumptions,
said,
haven't it?
And I, anyway, cut long story short, it was his assistant manager who got done. And that told me then I've got to get out.
Yeah.
I've got to get out.
Because the environment wasn't right for you.
It wasn't right. And I felt very uncomfortable. And again, this was still, I think this was 86 now. So I've been there a year. And I put I sent an advert in the local paper, in the Evening Mail, manager of a carpet shop required in Kitts Green, Lee Village, Birmingham. And what it was two carpet fitters who would work for this shop, Sovereign Carpets in Lee Village, for many years. And Phil, the gaffer, wanted to sell the shop.
Yeah.
And Terry and Phil said, listen, we know it's a gold mine because we've been his main fitters for 4 or 5 years. Let's buy the shop. So they put their houses on as collateral, bought the business off Phil, and they were looking for the manager because all they were just carpet fitters. So they had no idea how to run a business.
To run it, yeah.
I was not that man. I was just all I do was cut carpet up off a roll and put it in a trolley, and then you walk out with it. But they interviewed me, and I was at home the one day. I was off work because I wasn't very well. I had a bug or something. And Mum said, "Phil's on the phone." I went, "That's that interview I had last week." Took the phone off, and he says, "We want to take you on." Mate, I was.
But you're gobsmacked, innit?
I was gobsmacked. They picked me up. You know what it's like when you're a youngster and you're working for 2 trades and they're flicking your ears and everything. I was in the middle of the van like that. But it was a way out. So I got out. And Gary, at the time, the manager of B&Q, was away. So I wrote a nice little letter saying, thank you for making the opportunity for me to
appreciation goes a long way, yeah.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for bullying me. Thank you for forcing me out. But now I've now got I'm now a manager of a successful carpet business, and thank you for that.
I bet that pissed him off.
That it pissed him right off when you opened that letter. And from that moment on, I never looked back. Ironically, I seen one of the bosses yesterday, and they put me in the shop, and I said, "Listen, I've never done this before." And I said, "How did I get the job?" I said, "Basically, you blew us away with the carpet industry, how it's made, the backings, the fibres." I said, "That was because purely I was bored. And I just like read notes. I got nothing to do. Just sitting on the
retaining information.
Like so I just retained the information. I just thought, and they went, "No, you blew us away," out of guys who were double your age. And I thought, well, that's nice because they're trusting a 17-year-old kid to run a business for me. They've got their houses on as collateral. And all it was, basically, I sat in the shop and I just took all the business, and they were coming every morning. So it was great. Put the radio on, and I was self-employed.
Listen to that. I think that's quite a pinnacle part of your life because you could have went 2 ways there. You could have been the opposite of being the way you are, where you've turned people who were trying to probably bring you down to their level, but what you've took it as a success. You're like, no, I'm going to make a success. You could have dragged it down. You could have even got part of that robbery. Like if you knew, just to piss him off and to bring that company down, but you didn't. What you did was channeling your energy into your environment and making yourself a success no matter what. And you just turned your energy, which I think is great about it. And I think what you do in all your scenarios, which I know from, you literally can turn a negative into a positive because you've got a focused mindset.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like the guy who just done 30 grand, thought you've just took 30 grand, which is a lifetime of money from me. But where's that going to get you? Probably in prison. Then you're not going to get another job. I look at the long term, and I've not been brought up that way to be like that. And I thought, okay, you've had all that money put in your pocket and whatever, but I look at the longer term. Hence that the property. It's not get rich quick schemes to get rich schemes.
So from getting the job, which is absolutely amazing. You never thought that was ever going to happen.
And it was self-employed as well. So obviously this is why I've never been employed money, because they said you're on a self-employed basis. We're going to give you £110 a week and you get your own accountant. And that's what I did.
So from there, how did the business go? How long would you, at that point in the business, how long did you take it over?
Well, again, at them point, I just started to go to Ibiza. I was 16 when I first went to Ibiza in 17. I loved it. I love that being able to do what I want when I want.
Yeah.
Of course, that's just the way I am. And when Terry was off and Phil was off from fitting, let's say they was on holidays, I'd have carpet fitters come in. So I had a few fitters I'd take on, and they'd turn up, and they'd turn up at 9 o'clock, take the floor in, come back at 1 o'clock, and I'd say, how much is that? And they'd give me an invoice, 120 quid. And I'd go, bloody hell, 120 quid. It's a week for me to earn that, 9 to 5. You know, so I felt quite restricted. So 9 to 5, look, being back at school again, but I had that freedom. I was in there on my own. I had no one to answer to. But I wanted that sort of life. I thought, I like that. And they went, you want to be a carpet fitter, mate? You want to get into it? So obviously I'm not going to tell Terry that or Phil, because I'm running their business. They don't need to be a carpet fitter. I'm their manager. So I self-taught myself, just getting old mats off the stand and just cutting them round legs and whatever. And Terry took me out on the occasional day off, my day off on a Wednesday, to teach me a little bit. When I got very frustrated, I couldn't put a piece of gripper down without it bending or that. I said, fuck this. I said, I can't be doing this. I've got because I had a little temper. Got on the bus and off I've gone home, you know, because I hadn't passed my test then. And then he said to me, then I went for my driving test in 88 and or just before that. And he said, if you don't pass, you're sacked. He said, because I thought he meant it, but he didn't. But he said, listen, we need you to go on measures now. We need you to run the business, and we need you to go on measures after, because, you know, get our money's worth out of you. So I passed my test first time, and then that was it. But because I'd self-taught myself, I wanted that carpet fitter's life, mate.
Yeah.
I wanted to earn that £100 a day. Yeah. I wanted to be freedom and
which
have
is
a van. And,
a lot of money back then. Like £100 now is quite a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? It's £2,000 a month.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I couldn't look back, really. Yeah. I mean, I think what I'd done was the best thing ever, and hence that's why I've done it to my nephews. What I've left school, I've done exactly the same to them. I've pulled them out, and I've taught them a trade, and they're earning silly money now. But so from that point on, I left Terry. I approached. Well, he came in and I said, I'm leaving, and he said, where to? And I couldn't say I'm going to be a carpet fitter, because he said, you can't fit carpet. He would have said, you can't fit carpet, which I couldn't. I've done a little bit.
Sometimes you can't tell people your aspirations, because they will literally try and bring you down.
So I said, I've got a job with Allied Carpets. And he said, how much are paying you? I said, I'll make something stupid up now. £220 a week, which is double. He went, I'll double the wage. I'll match the wage. His wife come in and says, you're worth your weight in gold. Please don't leave us. I went, I'm leaving. I've made my mind up. To the annoyance of my father, which we'll go into after, and I left, and that was it, really.
So very stubborn, which is good.
I left, and you know, you throw yourself in the deep end, mate. Then you know, you're just gone from there. And of course, I left, and on the Monday, I went out. I bought myself some business cards, some letterheads. I'd already spoke to reps then, carpet reps who were in the shop, to say, look, if you hear of any work, let me know. But the way I looked at it, mate, I divided £100 up in a week. And I says to my mum and dad, all I've got to do is earn £25 a day. At 5 days' work, that's going to be £125. That's going to be £15 more what I'm earning now. And I probably only have to do one bedroom a day. The minimum charge them days in the 80s was about £25 minimum charge. That's about an hour and a half worth to do one bedroom. So I thought, I worked my maths out. 1 room a day. Well, how are you going to get that? Well, I'll just put my name about it. And that's what it's all about. I went to my local pub. I used to give my cards out, and I got the occasional job, mate. And really, some days, okay, some weeks I'd earn 70, 50, some weeks I'd earn 200, 300. And then I started supplying carpets then, because that's where the money is. I started then taking my books out, and it went on from there.
And so from there, you made your own business doing it?
Basically, I was a carpet fitter for 25 years before I opened my first shop.
Yeah.
But obviously my background comes from running the carpet business and seeing it all. And I run it from scratch. Didn't have a clue, but I learned as I went along. Yeah. Teddy, unfortunately, went bump a year after I left him, because he got another manager and it just went flat, and they sold it. So that was a shame. But I was fitting for the NEC. The NEC started. I got in with a company called V&M Carpet Tiles in Birmingham at the time, and they said, "You're a carpet fitter. We've got, just to fill the gaps, we've got some work for you at the NEC, laying the gangways and the carpet tiles and whatever. £60 a day in the week, £90 on the Saturday, and 120 on the Sunday. That's mad money. That's late 80s.
Yeah.
That's mad money. So that's what I did, and it was a bit boring because it was again 9 to 5, having your lunch at 12 and whatever. But it filled the gaps. So I'd done a lot of work for the exhibitions at the time, while trying to build up my own supply and fit business. And so basically, I was just on the end of a phone call, and my weeks were always busy. And then we had the crash. Then didn't we? Was it 1990? We had the crash.
1990, yeah.
A couple of years later, we had the crash.
So fast forward, obviously, you've got the business now. This is your first business. Like, was it 20 years later? You say you bought your own business, or
2008?
2008.
2008, I went back into retail. Yeah,
Back into it, literally before the next financial crash.
Yeah.
So how did that plan out from buying, obviously going into that business, and the financial crash? How did that?
Well, obviously during the years of carpet fitting, and I do get this from my mother. Mum was always very, very good with. She was always very good with money. She'd have my dad's money all the time off him, and she would make sure that everything was paid on time and whatever. So I do get it from that. I'm a very good saver. I'm not a spendthrift. I'm not a gambler, and I during the time of fitting carpets and earning some money, I bought my first property. I think it was in 2005. I think
2005, yeah.
Yeah, I bought my first property, and so I've dabbled in it as I've gone along, and then in 2008, work had gone really down for the shops. I was working for a couple of shops, and they were getting too many carpet fitters in. But unbeknown to them, I've got an apartment in Gran Canaria I'm trying to pay for. I've got a couple of houses which I've got more buy-to-let mortgages on. So I can't be earning 50, 60.
So how many from your first house, say from 2005 over till 2008, when you first, how many properties did you have at the time then?
No, from 2005, I bought my second one. In 2000, I bought my first one.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically, I divorced in 1999. Again,
So how many did you have from 2000 to 2009? How many properties did you have buy to let?
From 2000 to 2009?
Yeah.
I'd say about 3.
Which is good going.
About 3 at the time.
Yeah.
About 3 at the time. And, I call myself an accidental landlord. That's what I just did. I just thought, okay, put my money into a little property and carry on earning money. I mean, again, back in the 90s, I was on £700 a week. When we had the crash in 1990, there was no work whatsoever. So that kicked me in the teeth a little bit in 1990. So I'd only just gone full-time into carpet fitting on my own for 2 years. And we had the crash. And there was no work whatsoever. And then a company down, Allied in Exeter, offered me a job.
Yeah.
Fit carpet for them. So I went down there, and I was working 11. I was working 11 hours a day, mate. I literally, and I, this is God's honest truth. In 6 months, I made last orders at the bar probably 3 times in 6 months. I was leaving at 6 in the morning, picking my mate Barney up because I got a flat in Torquay. I had to because the Allied was in Exeter, so I picked Barney up at 7 in the morning. I'd get to Allied in Exeter, which was 50 miles, for just before 9 o'clock. Them days you had to cut all your own jobs up, your carpets up, so with all the plans. So it was 11 o'clock before I left Allied, got to my first job, and then I was all over Oakenhampton, Sidmouth, Lyme Regis, all over Devon, and I wouldn't get home till 11 at night. And I'd done that for 6 months. It literally, I don't know how I did it. But I was earning £700 a week, mate. That was in the 90s, which was more than I needed. More than I needed. So of course I was putting that aside. I was having luxury holidays away. I was living a good life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was fantastic.
So from there, obviously, so let's fast forward to 2019. That's when you properly got into business, property, should we say, into education, learning a little bit more, right? Is that correct?
2019 is when I bought the shop in 2008 because obviously my fitting jobs went low. Back into retail.
Yeah.
Opened it up, called it Installer Floor, but I was still working for this other little shop.
Yeah.
They didn't like me having a shop, although they said at the time, we don't mind. They got rid of me. So then I had to make a success out of this business, and I did because I fitted the carpets for the shop.
Yeah.
And it went from strength to strength to strength to when I went into a larger unit. And then in 2000, and just after the year after Dad died in 2019, I sold Installer Floor to a couple, and then I retired from the flooring business.
Yeah.
And I went full time into property. But obviously during then, I'd during having the shop, I dabbled in buying the occasional property on a buy to let, 25% down.
Yeah.
Put it aside.
Yeah.
So no refurbs, none of that. Just turnkey. Just bought something
Turnkey
like
straight into it.
that. And then obviously you've seen that bit of land, which
Yeah.
I bought. I think that was in 2011. And again, that was just pure luck by having one of the customers come in and
Yeah, because we went to go and see that. Didn't we?
So it's just always having your eyes open. And I've always had my eyes open, mate, and
So
seen
opportunities.
opportunities what have come along, and it's gone from strength to strength really with the mindset I had from a young child, and just retired at 49.
Yeah. So going into obviously kind of going into full time, so we say property in 2009, kind of, if you want to call it that. So what have you learned now from the obviously property from 2009 till 2023? Because I know you've had some massive downs, but you've also had some freaking great ups
Yeah.
with property. So name me one that is stressed you the F out.
Apart from, well, I'd say the one that's really, really, and as you know, looking on my social media, a lot have, because it's real what I do. A lot of people say isn't. The one in North Wales.
Yeah. So talk to me about that.
Well, that was that again. When I went full time to property, the first thing I'm going to buy is a source property off somebody.
Yeah.
Because I see these sources popping these deals out, and I thought, okay, that'll save me the time. I'm happy to pay 5-6 grand sourcing fee.
Stop. Yeah. So obviously a deal sourcer, guys, if you don't know, is someone that finds a property for an investor and they sell it for a fixed price. They do the DD, which is the due diligence on the property to make sure obviously the numbers stack. They'll present it to the investor. If the investor likes it, he'll buy the deal. You have like 14 days, obviously, to check over your own maths and numbers and stuff.
Yeah, 14 days. Calling off period, basically, just your own due diligence. Yeah.
So that Wales deal, talk me about it. Numbers to start off with.
Yeah. Well, it was sourced me. It was sourced me from this company.
So how much did you pay for it?
6 grand. For the sourcing
No.
fee.
So the sourcing fee was
6 grand.
6 grand, and how much was the property worth?
Well, it was sourced for me for 100 grand. So the house is worth 100,000.
Yeah.
It was going to be a 7-bedroom HMO. Apparently.
I didn't ask that. 1 minute.
Okay.
How much was it? The refurb.
60 grand.
60 grand. So you're 160 into it.
Yeah.
166 with it. And what was supposed to be the end value with legal solicitors?
220.
So 220.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
So it's a good little deal.
Work your maths, don't they?
Yeah. It's a good little deal.
Yeah. It was. Well, yes and no, because it was sourced as a HMO.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really an end value at the time. It was sourced as a HMO. So
were you going bricks and mortar valuation, or were you going commercial?
No, it would have been a bricks and mortar.
Exactly. Yeah.
It
Okay.
would have been bricks and mortar. But it was sourced as a HMO, and it was never going to be an HMO. Never, because I went down, I'd done my 14-day due diligence checks and all that. It was never going to be an HMO. So basically, because it was just in the middle of nowhere, mate, and it was an old weed farm.
So you got no white collar, no blue collar in that surrounding area.
Nothing at all, mate. It was in the wilderness, honest to God. But instead of me pulling out, I said I'll still have it, but it's not going to be an HMO. I'll turn it from a 5-bedroom detached into a 4-bedroom detached. So what I'll do, I'll just create an ensuite in the back bedroom and in the front bedroom, and I think it'd just be a 4-bedroom family home. And that's purely because I went round to see different estate agents, because they're the ones that work in the area. They just said it will not work as an HMO. So obviously I went back and then obviously the headaches, that was the one headache. And then it went on from there, where I got the builder went bump on me for 30 grand, or just before shy of 30 grand. There was no electricity connected because it was a weed farm, which I found out all afterwards.
So how from the builder? Obviously, you knew this builder, right?
No,
didn't know from who gave you that builder's number?
The sourcing
company.
The sourcing company, because he worked for them. He'd done quite a few jobs, and to be honest with you,
so I had a bit of a resume with him. Kind of known a little bit. He's obviously done a few jobs.
I think I'm not protecting him here, but obviously I bought this pre-COVID, so COVID bit him on the arse really. This job was in Wales. The builders from out of Wales, I couldn't go in, obviously because we had lockdown
and restrictions and stuff put in place.
Yeah, but that's still not giving him the excuses. And then he was robbing Peter to pay Paul. So basically, he robbed me of 30 grand. He told me I got robbed in the house. He put all new boards down. He says, you've been robbed on the Monday you went in. And he says, you've had all your central heating pipes nicked, all your radiators are gone. And I said, you're joking. This house just gets from bad to worse. He said, I don't know, bud. He said, all I know is that my lads were in Friday and everything was fine. And now everything's gone. The new lads have gone in Monday and they showed me a video. But now I know that he didn't do it, but the builders did because he wasn't paying them. So they've just gone on the Friday. You know what? I've not had any money off him. He was saying that Andy hadn't paid him, but I had.
Yeah.
So they've just said Dave hasn't paid us.
So he's just passing the blame on, making
We're just
out,
going to
yeah.
take the money now. We're
Yeah.
just going to take all the tat.
Yeah.
Because I knew then, because I'd done a bit of research on it. I went back to the house. I thought, where's the break? You know, a little window, and the radiators are that wide, but the window's that big.
Exactly. And it's out in the sticks anyway. Who's going to know about
So,
it?
So weed farm, no electricity connected. Got robbed. Got robbed. All the radiators, everything went missing, and then the builder done me for 30 grand, all in the same property, really, mate.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
So when you got to that point, quite low, didn't know really what avenue to go down, didn't know whether just to sell it on or whatever to do with the business or take a massive loss.
I don't. But I don't give up, mate. To be fair, I mean, that the day I summons the project manager to the house, I said he's going to be quiet now with the builder. I'm smelling a rat here. How many times have you been down to the property in the last 6 months? 6 times. I went, so once a month, and I'm paying you 10% of the bill cost.
Was there anything put in place with a contract with the builder?
Yeah.
To say like,
no, not really. Well, just obviously quotes and estimates, and he said you pay us this up front for the builder.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I've never done that before. He said, no, he works with us. It's fine. That's what.
You took kind of word of mouth kind of thing, because I think that's.
I put my trust in them because they were project managing it, so I put my trust in them.
But going forward now, I'm just saying this from my perspective, like, because I've learned from people like yourself that you made that into obviously a good thing from a negative, but learning from different processes through property is always have a contract, even if it's with your this is going out obviously to my audience. So if you are doing that, make sure you've got a contract with your builders where you know what they're doing, kind of week by week or different phases.
Yeah, exactly.
So exactly, right, you're going to the property 3 times in 2 weeks. If you don't make that, so forth and stuff like that, which is a great way to go forward. But when you're very trusting like yourself, and I am sometimes as well, you kind of get bit in your ass by dickheads who just take your kindness for a weakness.
Exactly.
And that's what happened. But they didn't know you. They didn't know George Michael. In a way, your mentality to make that property a success, which you did do in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So going through all that, steaming ahead of it, change the dynamics of it, and change your mindset again.
I'll get knocked down. I'll get straight back up. That day when he phoned with the project manager and I met him there, and he said the builder's gone bump, and I said okay, and I must admit I was
pissed off. Who wouldn't be?
Do you think I'd give him 37 grand and the house was derelict?
Yeah,
I was sick to the stomach. That would have ruined it. That could have ruined a lot of people.
100%.
Thankfully, because I've always been a saver, mate, and I've always made sure I've got money for a rainy day. I've literally got, and I'm not going to lie, I've probably got about 28 grand in my bank left.
Yeah,
but that was enough to get me out of the shit.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, okay, now put it aside, deal with it. If you finish it and you don't make 10 pence, you just get all your money back. You invest everything back, but you don't make 10 pence. Happy days. Take that as a learning curve and take that as a lesson learned. I didn't expect to make a penny. I did end up making 70 grand less corporation tax on that in the end.
You made 70 grand off that pocket?
Yeah, because obviously I got my friends up from Birmingham to finish it off. The market was going up anyway, so the market was going up wickedly, as we know. So from the £220,000 in value, it then hit 250 the time I finished it 6 months later. After he should have finished it in the June, I finished it in the November. I went over my bridging loan costs. Everything what could have gone wrong went wrong, but I ended up coming out on top. I wasn't bothered if I didn't make a penny. I wanted that house sold. I was in Gran Canaria last July, ready to celebrate. I was at a pool party thinking this is it now, and I went there for a reason because I knew it was going to complete on that day, so I went there for a reason. But even I posted it. I posted my bank account, my one Starling bank account. I posted there was £20 in there, and then 4 minutes later it was £250,000. And it was just like wow. And really, it wasn't £250,000 of my money; it was my money back, really, plus that bit of profit. But it was a massive release. But even the headache with that property, even the agent says, we've never known a chain like it. It's the worst in our history. I went, it's this fucking house. What's the matter with it? You just don't want to go. You don't want to go. But I look back at it, it was an achievement now because somebody's got a beautiful home and there's a big story behind it.
Exactly.
And it could have finished a lot of guys off, but I made a good positive out of a negative with it.
Yeah, 100%. The universe puts kind of struggles in people's way that can deal with them sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You learn massively. I learned a lot from that. Do you know what I mean? Learning about the story about it, being closer at the time and stuff like that, learning about that. The people that kind of effed you over doing it, you learn kind of how people's integrity are, and I think that's why you're always better by yourself sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, you love being by
I
yourself.
put my trust in a lot of people, and I've sat down. And thought, all the people I put trust in, thinking and listen to them. That's great. Not knocking them. I can do it myself.
100%, yeah. Which is point proven. Do you know what I mean?
I literally can do it myself. And sometimes if you concentrate on what a certain person's doing
Yeah.
all the time, you're avoiding what you could be doing yourself. Really.
At that time as well, I know you were very, very consistent. What you were doing, you were going there. I remember ringing you sometimes, and you were going up there by yourself. Just
Same
to
in
check
hotels.
Exactly.
I've done exactly the same with all the properties after in Wales. I've stayed in hotels and finished jobs off and got rid of every builder.
Yeah.
And it's as if I say to people, is it me? Am I too fussy? Is it what is it? Why am I always finishing these jobs off? And I'm not a builder.
Yeah.
But they just take the piss, mate. A lot of them do. It's not easy. Your build team is your most important because obviously they're building a product for you, and they don't see it. They just see it as like just a couple of quid in the pocket and whatever. And every time I've gone up to Wales and I've had these houses, I've ended up just getting rid of them. So just go. If you think that's acceptable, then I don't want you to carry on in the jobs. And
it's having non-negotiables, isn't it?
Mate, they've all come to fruition. Every one of my properties, what I've done and done right myself, every tenant has looked at it and he's gone straight away. They love it. They love me as a landlord because I put obviously the best flooring down.
Yeah.
I treat them right. I give them a good product and that's it. But believe me, it's took its toll on me. To the point now, I'm my age now. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've been more stressed out since I retired than when I was working full time in my carpet business. It's more stressful.
But it's worth it in the end.
It's what makes me tick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's the way I am.
What would you be doing now if you weren't doing that?
I just wouldn't do nothing. I'm a workaholic.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What would you be doing?
I'll be honest with you. The only times I can relax is when I'm abroad.
I think you'd be a tribute act, George Michael.
Good to sing.
Yeah, I haven't. Do you want to?
No. Oh, mate, if I could sing, I would be on that stage, mate. If I could sing, I'd be on that stage. Would be.
But this is what I love about you. I'm trying to get my words out properly before I fuck up. Unapologetic. Is that the right word?
Apologetic.
Unapologetic of who you are. You're Andrew Hart. You wear your heart on your sleeve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's you through and through. And that's why you're lovable and likable. Like, if people don't like you, it's because I don't think they like themselves. And I think it's a good thing because if people don't like you, they're not right for you because they're out for something in a way.
I've always said this. I mean, I've always said, I don't give a shit who that people. Whoever doesn't like me, then I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. You're not on my Christmas card list anyway. We've all got our life to lead. We're all going to end up in the same hole, whatever. If you don't like me for any reason, then fuck off.
I think it's the best mentality to have.
I'm not interested. I know I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
I've not done anything wrong. I've not robbed anybody of anything. Everything I've done is genuine. And that's why. And I've got a lot of credibility really now because I've got, especially, I have got a few young up and coming entrepreneurs and guys who want to get into the property business have been approaching me. Yeah. I'm not going to mention names, but they've approached me to mentor them. Yeah. And I've gone, whoa, that's really nice. No, seriously, bro. They've been saying, I've seen so many people on YouTube and whatever. If anybody, I want to give you my money to mentor me because I know that you're genuine because I see what you do is real. So that's really, it's really humble. But
would you do it? Be a mentor to people?
I'd love to do it for free, but
you can't do that.
I wouldn't be a busy fool. And of course, there'd have to be some sort of cost involved. And I think I would because I love to give back. I'm getting to the point now where I don't want to keep buying houses, mate. You know what? The houses I've gotten that, and I'm happy. I've got a good life. I don't need to work.
Yeah,
I don't need to work, mate. I've got the the cash flow. Properties are doing well, but I'm a workaholic, so I'm always asked this question: when you're going to give up? Never. I'll work till the day I die.
Exactly.
I'll work till the day I die. I'm not going to give.
Because you like doing it. You like having that thing, and I think your thing is giving back, mate. Because you do it from afar sometimes, and I think you doing it on a small level will help change people's life, and I think you doing that will give you a lot more purpose in life.
It's for example, when I paid for you to do that. What did you actually? How long was you on that sort of course for? What
so it's Tell the World. So it was a one-on-one.
Yeah, me and David did do Tell the World.
Tell the World together.
Did you do it with me?
Yeah, we were there. Because we were there.
Yeah.
All of it because we all had to sit on the chairs and tell our story and do obviously things like that.
Bizarre, but yeah.
But yeah, like it was you kind of get what you put in, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And but yeah, you obviously helped me do that, which I think is in your blood. So I think personally, I think you should do it if you want to do it for the good reasons. You shouldn't do it for free. Do you know what I mean? Because you shouldn't work for free.
Mhm.
But you have the integrity, you have the loyalty where you, for instance, imagine these kids that have come to you, that which we've spoke about, they go to someone else, an educator that's dishonest, and they come back to you in 6 months.
Mm.
They've paid 5-10 grand for courses, they've learned nothing.
Mm.
How are you going to feel then?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I
So
love to give back. I mean, that's why I think I only knew you a few times when I
we just connected because I think we're on the
we
same
did
level,
connect,
yeah.
and I seen that it was going to be a massive opportunity loss for you, and I thought to myself, you know what? Because obviously it was tear jerking.
Yeah,
Because obviously the story, and I did get upset. I do. I'm quite sentimental with things like that. You know, I don't like to show it, but I do get
of
upset.
course, yeah.
And I got upset about your story, and I thought to myself, you know what? For what it costs, if David can go out there and save one soldier's life,
Yeah,
it's a small price to pay.
which it did.
Which is
My
do
first
you know
video
what I mean?
about suicide, what did it do? I had one of my mates.
And
laugh.
I did have a couple of people who did mention it to me afterwards, or after the time. Only a couple of people. You know, you're mad. You don't even know the guy. I mean, it's my money. I do what I like.
Exactly.
You know, I can do a lot, and I'm quite fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go on and be successful, then whatever. I'm a kind guy, and that's it. But I'm no mug.
Mm.
I wouldn't just go out and do it to Tom, Dick, and Harry. I like David, and I think there was an opportunity I didn't want you to miss, and that was it. And I do like to give back, and hence going to education
Mm.
and stuff like that. I will definitely give back because I like to go to bed and sleep at night, mate. I don't know lies or shit like that, and
It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your mental health,
no, I
mate.
wouldn't sleep at night, mate. You know, if I owed somebody money, if it was only a tenner, I'd say I wouldn't sleep at night. I think I'd better put that tenner in the bank tomorrow. You know, that's just the way I am, and that's the best way to be. I think.
I feel that as well. Like, I've done it with mates or people I don't know. I've lent money.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about the cars. Remember the cars?
Yeah, just mate. It's just one of them. But
Winds you up, doesn't it?
yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how you can sleep at night, and I'm realizing actually they can't, because I know people who know them that don't know where they live, don't know what cars they drive. They change their car every month because their mind's ticking. And it will happen to them at some point. Like, karma's a bitch. Whether I do it to you or not, I will let the universe do it. And if we meet one day in 10 years' time and you're on your ass, I'll still help you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's my mentality. I couldn't care. It's the same with you. Like, there's so much negativity in the world. If we can change that paradox of people's mindset, like you do, you helping people is helping people in the future. Do you know what I mean? What I do is a representative of what you did that day, because I'm constantly helping people. Like, kindness is amazing. It multiplies if you pass it on.
Love it.
The same with negativity.
Love it. Yeah, I love to give back, and hence, my dad, and it's just nice. I mean, I know I've posted it. I mean, my dad lived in a flat, and I purchased it many years ago.
You took me to the flat, yeah.
Took it to the flat, purchased it. Dad lived there anyway. It was council, bought that, and Dad lived there. And
how amazing is that?
Yeah, he lived there. And I said, Dad, I'm
Yeah.
your landlord now, so you can have what you want. Obviously, flooring wise and whatever, you're never going to be kicked out. It's your flat. And in the future, God forbid, when something happens to you, then your son's going to inherit quite a lot of money.
How did that make you feel, though? Like, that is an achievement.
Great. It's quite funny because when I bought it for Dad. Well, obviously, Dad had to buy it, so Dad approached the council and they said you can have it for 18,000, and at the time it was worth 80,000.
Yeah.
Bought it for 18,000, got a car loan and all that bullshit, but done it, and it was a good, lovely achievement. And I'll tell you what was a massive achievement for me as well, because when Mum and Dad divorced back in '92, Dad had no one to go away with anymore, because obviously they've split up, and me and Dad had 25 years of great holidays. And to the point where we was in Gran Canaria, I said, Dad, I want to buy an apartment here. So when, God forbid, when you pass away, the money I make on the flat, I'm going to buy an apartment in Puerto Rico that are about 90,000 euros. And he went, that'd be lovely, son. And you know what? I went home and I was pissed off with myself. I felt like the only way I can afford an apartment is if my dad dies. That's to me a failure.
It's hard wrenching, isn't it?
I didn't like it, and I thought to myself, you're going to buy it when your dad dies, so you don't see it.
Yeah.
So straight away, the switch went. I went, no, I'm going to buy an apartment in Gran Canaria next year, way before my dad dies. Not relying on the money. I've got to do it. So I had to do it. So I done it. I done it 12 months later, and I took Dad with me, and he because obviously we didn't speak about it. But back in the day when I went self-employed, Dad did have a go at me for leaving the shop.
Yeah.
But latter part of his life, the last 20 years, he's been saying, I'm really sorry. I just didn't believe in you. And I'm a proud dad. My mum and dad are very proud of me. And when I got the keys on that, it was the 7th of March, 2005.
Yeah.
I bought the apartment in Puerto Rico, and I opened that, and Dad went, "Fucking hell, this is yours." And I went, wow. I thought, no, it's a massive achievement. Called it Villa Hart and all that. I had a mortgage on it, Spanish mortgage, of course. Like, and again, it's a lie bit to get the money and whatever. Like, but Rob Boots paid Paul. But that was a massive achievement for me. And then, of course, my mum used in the house that my.
How did that make you feel, though? So I just want to pull back a little bit, like.
As you're what it is with me, I've had a lot of love from my mum and dad. And the three of us kids, we had a fantastic upbringing. You know, we had everything we wanted, and not because they were wealthy, because they worked the bollocks off to get the money. So we were spoiled. We had everything. You know, if I want this, I'd get it, and same for my sisters. And it's so lovely to be able to put my mum and dad a roof over my mum and dad's head now, what they want. So it's basically just giving back. You know, when I was 18, I had it from a young age. When I was 18, I bought my mum when a microwave first came out, first microwave, whatever came out of Argos, and mum opened it, started crying. She went, I can't believe you bought me a microwave. I always went out there and earned the money to give my mum and dad the best presents, and my dad had the best.
That's amazing, bro. Honestly, I love that.
My dad had the best presents off me, and then of course mum moved out that house, which I was born in, and I said, "You're not selling that. Well, if you are, it's going to be to me." Yeah. So I purchased the house, and my mum has moved into another home, what she loves, which is mine. Yeah. And she's never been so happy. I wish I would have come here years ago. Yeah. But it's nice that I've housed my mum and my dad. That's
a fucking amazing achievement, because I'd love to even have that feeling. Do you know what I mean? With my mum and dad passing, if I could, do you know what I mean? The feeling I feel from you talking about it, it's just amazing, bro.
Well, some people might say, well, it's all right for you, lot, but you know, you are losing a lot of money doing that. Don't give a shit. You know, if it's not affordable, then don't do it. But if you can afford to house your mum and 100%. Your dad and pay for it, I'm not being funny. You know, it's not going to be forever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you'll benefit in the future. But think, did your mum and dad charge you rent? You were 3, 4, 5 years old. Of course they didn't. Want me ask, give me everything.
Exactly.
So they're going to get it back, and they will get it back. So that's it is nice. It's nice to be able to do that.
Yeah,
I'll do it to anybody. I mean, anybody really close to me, they were in trouble. Within reason. If they're in trouble, then I'm no fool.
Yeah.
If you tell me to do it, it's an happening.
Yeah.
If I see that you need it, then I'll come in. I'll step in.
How's obviously the relationship with your daughter, your grandson?
Well, I've got 2 daughters, but my eldest daughter and Amy and the grandson Jax. Yeah, good relationship with them. Yeah, it's fine. I'm trying to sort of, you know, when I do see them, I think, no, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. I'm not a granddad. But because I never had a son, I had girls. Would have loved a son, but it never happened.
I remember speaking to you about that.
It's funny, really, because my family, the Harts, have been going on for 400 or 500 years, because we've done the family tree, history, and it ends up me.
Yeah.
Really, it's quite mad. But obviously, Jax was born, ironically, a month after Dad passed.
Yeah.
Which would have been his great grandson. And we see each other at least every week. And I can't. He's growing up now, and he's a little dude.
There's a different smile in your face though when you say his name, though. Which I think it's amazing, bro. Like, I did a video. I don't know if you've seen it the other day. I always film my son in the bath because he does mad stuff. I want to try and catch the stuff as he's growing up.
Yeah, because they grow up so quick.
Exactly, so quick. And like, I remember leaning out the bath, just washing him. I had a shit day, mate. I just wasn't happy. I felt depressed. I had no energy for nothing, and I was just washing him. He just came over to me, hugged me, started patting me on my back for about a minute.
Amazing.
And I tried to stand up, and he pulled me back down, and he just started patting my back. And you can't see me in the video, but I just started crying a little bit because it hits me, because I never felt that love. And I can see that from sometimes photos with you and him and stuff like that.
I was the same with my daughter, because when I divorced when Amy was 2, and you know, I think the hardest part of that divorce wasn't the divorce itself; it was my child.
Fucking mate, yeah.
So you know, I used to I remember. I mean, I probably still got the video somewhere. I used to dance with her in the room to
dancing.
used to hold her and sing some Elvis Presley songs to her.
Yeah.
You know, and she'd just look at me and click me lips. She didn't understand.
Of course, yeah.
So she didn't understand. I thought, oh, she's heartbreaking, you know. But you know, I've seen her regular every week, and obviously she's 27 years of age now, and she's had Jax now, and I can see the love that she's got for him.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
exactly the same, really. So, and I think it's nice because I can, because obviously I can see the future, I can see where it's all going and whatever, and who's going to be carrying on in my life, and it's nice that I know that he'll be another legend, like, you know, when he's getting old, and he won't be short of a few quid, no doubt. But you know, but obviously I don't put silver spoons in people's mouths.
course, yeah.
I'll teach them the right ways, and
But you also give them what they want as well and what they should have. Do you know what I mean? You've gone up for that bit upbringing. Like, I hate that word, especially when people say, "Oh, you spoil your kid." 100%. I came from a different background. We come from if my kid wants it, guess what? He's getting it and probably 10 more.
Yeah.
I'm not making him superior to anyone, but my kid can have, if he wants a Ferrari right now, what streams of income can I make now to have that kid in Ferrari by 16? That's my kind of mind, your mindset. And do you know what I mean? It's amazing to see, mate. I know you're an amazing dad. And I think men, we don't really speak about it. Like, me having the feelings of my kids not being in my life, I've never felt that, bro. Like, it's sinking feeling, bro.
It's tough. I mean, you know, you're very fortunate. Guys who have had children and stayed in their life all the time. I'm on about living with them. It's great, but I've been ripped apart twice because my youngest daughter, who's now 23, she's 4 years younger than Amy. She was born on my birthday, ironically, many years ago, and she was taken away from me because I didn't want a relationship with the mother. That was in back in 2000, and she said, "You'll never see this child again," because I didn't want a relationship with her. Really, it was one of them, and I said, you know, I'll support you 100%, but I'm not going to be your partner. I had to go to court many times down in Derby, and her Abby was only little, and I thought, how dare you? She loved me to bits. We had a great relationship, but then she just took it away from me. She's not seen her again. I joined Fathers for Justice. You remember the old Spider-Man's job?
Yeah.
I was part of the.
That wasn't you, was it?
I was one of them. But I didn't climb the Big Ben or whatever it was. But we was dressed up as because it was just disgusting. So I went to court. And it was mad, really, mate, because I went through Kafkas and everything, and they says to me, literally, I took my dad there, and they said to me, she was sat there, and they said to me, have you got a solicitor, Andrew? I said, no, I don't need a solicitor. What will you do for documentation? I said, I'm not going to have somebody tell you what sort of guy I am when I can tell you myself. He doesn't know me from Adam, so I don't need a solicitor. And they went, well, you do, but blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, we've been told you're a bad dad, you smack your child, whatever. I went, wow. And all this. I said, well, funny enough, I've got an ex-wife who could probably vouch for me and another daughter. Now, and she was prepared to do that.
Yeah.
But me being me, I can't be told too much. If somebody's telling me, knocking me, saying I'm bad, I'm not standing it. So I stood up and I just said, case dismissed, it's all over. I said to the mother, I'll see my child when she's 18. She was 3 at the time. She said, and she looked at me in shock. And I mean, and the judge said, you can't do that. I said, I can. Case dismissed. I'll see when she's 18. End of. I'm not having this. So then I went out. I left, and ironically, she texted me the week after, and she said, "Do you want to come and see your daughter?" I said, "Well, what's all that about?" And she just said, "Just wants to see you squirm a little bit." And
that's me.
I'll be honest with you, mate. We won't go into it, but I've been through hell.
Of course, yeah, I know you're
with my seeing my daughters. Well, my daughter, sorry, Amy is fine. Ex-wife was fine with her, but I've been through hell with Abigail because she was took out my life for 4 or 5 years, and I had to just carry on and move on.
How's the relationship now like?
Fantastic. She's we don't see each other as much, obviously, because she's in Derby, avid Aston Villa supporter, which she was from day one. Very close, and obviously, what happened is when she started school, thankfully, her nan was sending me the pictures because she disagreed with what her daughter was doing. She went, because she knew I was a good guy. And I went, oh, thanks so much. I mean, it's broke my heart, this has. I said, and then I started taking to the apartments.
Them pictures are guarantee you change your day, though.
Sorry?
You know, if you want to have a down day, looking at them pictures.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, I went through hell, but now Abby's 23. Now all them days are gone. Obviously, you know, there's child support agency money and all that's paid and finished now. And she can't dictate what her daughter does because her daughter says, I'm seeing my dad. She came down last weekend for a few days, and we've got a great relationship. Loves me to bits. I love her. So it's all come to fruition. But I've gone through hell to get to this point.
Yeah.
I could have just walked away many years ago and just I don't want to see the child. I'm not interested.
But the opposite way, mate. That would kill a man sometimes. You don't know. Some women, I don't think they get the gist of what that can do to a man. Just because we've not taken care of the kid for 9 months in the womb and brought it out, it physically, when I haven't seen my kids for 2 days, like whatever happened before, mate, destroyed me. Like I've said, like people, not many people know about it, but last year I was on top of a bridge, bro. I was that suicidal, bro, because I couldn't see my kids because of something I did, whatever. Like top of a bridge, M6 got shut down, junction 3. Had to get taught down by the cops because I was gone, bro. Just gone. Like I said before, I struggle with happiness. Like today I could be sound, tomorrow I could be suicidal. I really have to be mindful of my thoughts. If I'm not, I can go down a wrong road. So I try and keep positive. I try and speak to people who inspire me, like yourself. You inspire me, not just from property. That I'm not really bothered about. It's just you as a person and what you give back. Do you know what I mean? You're an amazing dad, amazing father. You know you are. You're an amazing, obviously, husband, friend. You're great in property. Your dad will be so proud of you, like you already know. And your mum, do you know what I mean? You're just doing an amazing job, mate.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
I'm just grateful to be your friend, bro. To call you my mate.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And yourself, mate. You've got everything to live for. You have everything to live for, and I can't. I mean, every time I go on social media now, you're there and TikTok, and I love it. I just think, wow, I don't know where you get your words from. You know,
mate, you want to see some of my bloopers, bro?
But I mean, you say I inspire people, but you must inspire some people. There must be thousands what you inspire, mate. I mean,
you gave me a voice.
I think my daughter follows you. In fact, my stepdaughter follows you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you mind? I'm seeing David might say, oh yeah, I know him. I follow him. You don't know how big you are.
Yeah. You don't know who you are. I get messages sometimes. It baffles me, mate.
It's quite ironic because when you do go out, people say, "Oh, I love that house you've done." I go, fuck you.
Exactly. You're gonna rob me.
I'm one of your followers, and you're like on your Instagram. Like, oh yeah, well, I'm not following them back.
I feel bad. Yeah.
Nah.
I feel bad. I follow. Oh, sorry, mate. Do I follow you back? Like I'm like you're that kind of person. Like I just do it out of the goodness of my heart. Don't get paid for it. I just help people. Like I'm doing the podcast so I can speak to people who inspire me and to inspire other people. But I will be making. I know for a fact I will at some point be a millionaire, or it's not even the money. It's just the freedom to give my kids a better life. Do you know what I mean? So keep doing this, my podcast, my property, my car, whatever I can make money.
You got a goal, haven't you?
I will, exactly. So going forward now, what's your aim in the next couple of years?
Never stop, obviously, but what I probably will be, although I keep saying it, I probably will be cutting down on the
No, you won't.
On the small
properties. No, you won't.
On the small properties. I've got a couple now in legals now ongoing, and so they're just going through legals, which have caused me quite a lot of stress, especially with refinancing that. And I'm looking at thinking, do I need? Because I don't need it, but I do it because I like it. I love Monopoly when I was a kid, and so I won't stop. You're right. But what I'm concentrating
now and again,
what I am concentrating on are the bigger luxuries. Now I'm going into the luxury holiday let business, something different, and it will be something different because I always like to be different. I've been like to different when I was a kid. You know, you observe the masses and then go the complete opposite, and that's what I do. So I'm looking at the luxury holiday let, so some real good high cash flowing holiday let businesses.
I'm definitely going to be looking forward to this.
I've got the time to run. Might do the occasional little house at the side, but I'm just going to concentrate on something something nice and big and cash flow. Which I'm probably 2 or 3 or 4 of them up and around the country, but do something different.
Yeah,
just something really different. So you've got something unique, something like you don't usually
put your mark on it.
Yeah, and I think there's a market as well for, and not a lot of people do this, and it doesn't matter if people look at it and think, that's a good idea, but I don't think there's enough holiday lets for people with disabilities, because, and I see it all the time, and I do my research. I think, hang on a minute now, there's a market, because there's so many big 5, 6, 7 bedroom, 8 bedroom houses, and for big families, but only if one of them's disabled, whether it's the child, mother, father, whoever wants to go with them, it's restricted, then you're going to lose a massive booking. So I think it's important to think of the people who are disabled who want to go away with the family.
Exactly. Ramps is a big thing. So many people like these holiday lets, all they do is upstairs, you've got to go up somewhere to go somewhere.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. Exactly. It's very simple, but it can cause someone to not book that place. And Exactly, yeah. So that's amazing. So I've got some questions, mate.
Okay, go on.
You've got to answer these, honestly.
I've answered all
is that Jack Daniels, isn't it?
Yeah, I did.
So, number 1 to 15.
I'm going to answer these quickly. Not going to be personal, are they?
Mate, you're picking it, they're just...
I'm picking it.
Yeah, you're picking them. So, you've got to pick a number 1 to 15. You pick a number, and I'm gonna obviously say the question. You've got to answer it honestly. Pick a number 1 to 15.
4.
What's your biggest failure, and what did you learn from that experience? This can be family, finance, or whatever. What's your biggest failure, and what have you learned from that experience? Quick answer.
I say I've never had a failure.
You never had a failure.
I've
Why?
never had a failure because when that house and other house I bought, if they have been failure, well, if they have been on the route to a
Yeah.
failure, I've always turned into a win. So
So you've always learned.
I've never failed on nothing, mate. If I get knocked down, I'll come straight back up and beat it. So failure don't come into my
I love that answer. So what you've done is you've took that mindset again from taking a failure into a lesson.
You don't have to have a failure, mate. Just make it into a win.
Love that. 1 to 15 again.
I'll go 10.
10.
I was going to confuse you and say 16. I know you don't like numbers.
What is your favourite holiday movie, and what does that say about you?
Holiday movie?
Yeah.
I'll say my favourite holiday movie is probably Hangover.
Hangover, yeah.
Yeah, I like Hangover, and it just typifies what us lads get up to, like when we're abroad,
no
and we're just having fun, and we just go wild, and we have a good time regardless of the age, mate. And hence, I'm going away next month with the lads from Marbella, and I'm really looking forward to that because I'm Peter Pan. I don't grow up, mate. So
I'm in Benidorm next month actually. 15th,
oh, yeah.
15th.
Oh, you love it, yeah.
If you're about.
I've just come back from there. Went away in March, but yeah, I'd say Hangover.
Next one, 1 to 15.
14.
Where is it? What does your morning routine look like?
My morning routine, I'll get up usually pretty early in the morning, around about 9:30. No. Get up in the morning, nice bit of breakfast, and then I usually just go to the gym.
What do you have for breakfast?
I'll be honest with you, I usually have poached eggs, salmon, and
No. Stop. What do you have for breakfast?
Eggs.
Eggs. Eggs. Then what do you do after then? Coffee?
I'll have coffee, then I'm off to the gym.
After the gym, then what do you do then? Do you come back, have a shower?
It depends on whether I'm doing a refurb. I'll go straight to the refurb, see how it's getting on, or do a bit of work there, or I'll come straight home in the office and I'll spend all day in the office.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's have another look. So we've got some questions here, mate. 1 to 5 these are. So pick a number 1 to 5.
4.
What's one question you'd have wished? What is one question you wished you asked your mother and father, and what would it be?
What one question would I ask my mother and father?
And what would you think the answer would be?
That's a difficult one, that.
Because there's emotion attached to it.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
Well, I don't know how to answer it.
Okay. Well, I think if I was going to ask the question, then it probably would have been when I was younger. Let's say, for instance, when I just left school and whatever. Come
on, what would it be?
So difficult because I had everything. I had actually,
What question would you ask your mum and dad if they were sat there right now? Your mum and dad, what question? Don't think about it too hard. Just think with your emotions a little bit, not your head.
The question would be is that I just wanted to be happy and here forever. Really, why do you have to go? And that's it really. I just thought, when you're with your parents and you just think they're going to be there forever. It's really cruel when they're ripped apart, and the divorce at 92. So I think the question would be, why did you have to split up, and why do you have to
do you think that would heal a lot of things, even if you knew the answer to that?
Probably, yeah.
Do you think you'd be the person you are now if they didn't split up there?
You know what? I think people split up for a reason, and
Exactly.
then if mum and dad didn't split up, then I would have had them great 25 years together with dad, I suppose. Well, I wouldn't have. The holidays we had since the 90s, and he wouldn't have seen the apartments or whatever like he did that day come out with me. So I think my relationship with my dad, let's be honest, my relationship with dad was a hell of a lot better when mum and dad split up. So I suppose, yeah.
So it's a positive out of it. It's a positive out of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. We had a great relationship after they split up. We was really close. So I'm close to both of them anyway. But I am a family man, and I do always think of the past who I've lost. Obviously, mum, dad, my grandparents, cousins, and I see them all now, and I just think, why is life so cruel? Like, you know, just like it's mad. They're here one day and then gone the next. I can see us all partying still. I do dwell on the past a lot, to be fair, and I shouldn't do. I am
It
told
gives you a
that.
driving force sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
I do dwell on the past too many times.
Yeah.
But I am what I am, and that's it.
Sad.
I just think life is so quick and so cruel. So yeah.
So to end the episode, Andrew, I just want to say thank you for coming on, mate. Like, you're a close friend. I consider you a close friend of mine. I just want to show appreciation to you. So whoever wants to find, obviously, Andrew on social media, what are your taglines? Where can they find it? Can they reach out and ask for help?
Yeah, well, obviously on Instagram, I am Andrew Hart Property.
Yeah.
On Instagram, and Andrew Hart on Facebook. Usually Facebook is just more like, you know, your check-ins and whatever, where you go abroad and whatever, the holidays and family photographs. But Instagram is where I do a lot of social media content and whatever, what I'm trying to aim on growing and that. Yeah.
Perfect, guys. So if you want to go over and obviously following him in social medias, you will learn so much from this guy, not just from his heart and his passion, but through property as well. So today has been a very insightful talk. So I just want to say thank you again, Andrew, for coming along, mate. Close mate, I'm honestly, Lord, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really proud of you as well. So don't knock it.
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. Right. So guys, obviously like, share, comment, please subscribe to my channel. It's the Mindset Soldier podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you all have an amazing day, an amazing week from the Mindset Soldier. Thank you.
Legend.
Thank you, bro.
That's right.
Well done, bro.
All right. Same.